Whether it's in anticipation of back-to-school season or you just need a new machine for work, a new laptop may be near the top of your shopping list right now. Given we're still dealing with a global chip and supply shortage, you might find yourself a little apprehensive about prices and availabilities of products right now. The good news is, companies are still making a ton of new laptops, and there are plenty of models for you to choose from. You probably have an idea of your budget here, but just so you know, most laptops with top-of-the-line specs can cost you around $1,800 to $2,000 these days. That doesn't mean you won't find a good system for under $1,000. That's usually about the price for a premium ultra-portable with a 13-inch screen and an Intel Core i3 or i5 chip. And if that's too expensive, you'll still have plenty of good options in the $600 to $800 range, but they might come with slower, older processors and dimmer screens. I've included our favorite budget-friendly model in this lineup, but we also have a list of more affordable laptops that you can take a look at. After working out how much money you want to spend, the laptop's operating system is usually the first thing you have to narrow down. As always, the decision is slightly easier for people who prefer MacBooks. Now that Apple has brought its M1 chip to its whole lineup, your only real considerations are budget, screen size, and how much power you need. Over on Team Windows, however, the shift to ARM-based laptops hasn't been as smooth. Though Apple has been able to bring huge increases in battery life while maintaining, and in some cases improving, performance with its own silicon, PC makers have been limited by Windows' shortcomings. Microsoft released Windows 11 last year, and it's supposed to run better on ARM-powered machines. Since the first of these laptops, like Lenovo's ThinkPad 13S or 10W tablet, haven't been available for review yet, we can't tell how well the system runs. Of course, you can upgrade to Windows 11 on existing ARM-based PCs, but for now, it's still safer to stick with an Intel or AMD processor. Let's not forget there's a third and fairly popular laptop operating system, Chrome. If you do most of your work in a browser, which entails lots of online research, emails, and Google Drive, then a Chromebook might be a suitable and often more affordable option. As for other things to look out for, it's worth pointing out that a couple of laptops this year are starting to do away with headphone jacks. Though this doesn't seem to be a prevalent trend yet, it's a good reminder to check that a machine has all the connectors that you need. Most laptops in 2022 offer Wi-Fi 6 or 6E and Bluetooth 5.0 or later, which should mean faster and more stable connections if you have compatible routers and devices. While 5G coverage is more widespread this year, whether you need support for that depends on how much you travel. Where you plan on taking your laptop also helps in deciding what size to get. Many companies launched new 14-inch machines in the last year, straddling the line between ultra-portable and bulkier 15-inch offerings. For most people, a 14-inch screen is a great middle ground. But if you're worried about weight, a 12 or 13-inch model will be better. Those that want more powerful processors and larger displays will prefer 15 or 16-inch versions. As a Windows user, I find myself reluctant to name a MacBook as the best overall laptop. But I can't deny that Apple's transition to its own silicon has made its machines better. The M1 MacBook Air even outperformed many PCs while maintaining a fanless design. Though the current model is 2 years old at this point, it's still one of the best laptops around, with blazing fast performance, a great keyboard, and excellent battery life, along with a nice Retina display. Thanks to its ARM architecture, the M1 MacBook Air can also run iPhone and iPad apps. And our main gripes with it are the low-res 720p webcam and the fact that it only has 2 USB-C ports. If you can wait a little longer, the MacBook Air is overdue an update. And whatever Apple launches next is likely to deliver even better performance. The best PC has long been Dell's well-rounded XPS 13 series, and I still recommend it to anyone that doesn't want a Mac. Yes, the new XPS 13 Plus lacks a headphone jack, and we haven't gotten one in to test yet. But the XPS 13 is a well-rounded machine, and still one of the best-looking PCs out there. You'll find a lovely OLED screen with impressively thin bezels, a roomy, comfortable keyboard, and a new minimalist design that looks more modern. I'm not sure about the row of capacitive keys at the top in lieu of traditional function buttons, but I am confident that the laptop's 12th gen Intel Core processors will provide a healthy performance boost from the last model. If you're not sure about the changes Dell has made to the XPS 13, or if you definitely need a headphone jack, the older generations are still solid options. There's also the Samsung Galaxy Book 2 Pro series, which have great OLED screens and sharper webcams and super thin and light frames. I also like Microsoft's Surface laptops, and the most recent edition offers great performance and battery life, although in an outdated design. Gamers should look for machines with responsive screens and ample ports so they can connect their favorite accessories that will best help you defeat your enemies. My coworker Devendra Hardwar goes into a lot more detail about what to consider in his guide to buying a gaming laptop, which you should read to learn about different CPUs and GPUs, minimum specs, and more. Our favorite gaming laptop is the Razer Blade 15, which has an Intel Core i7 processor and an NVIDIA RTX graphics card for $2,500. It is the most expensive item on this list, but you also get a 15-inch Quad HD screen that refreshes at 240 Hz. Depending on your preference too, different configurations are available, including a Full HD 360 Hz and a 4K 144 Hz version. The Blade series is also just one of the most polished gaming laptops around. Those looking for something cheaper and more portable should consider the Asus ROG Zephyrus G14, which was our favorite gaming laptop last year. The main reason it got bumped down a notch is because the 2022 refresh is almost $600 more expensive. Still, it's a solid gaming laptop with an excellent display, roomy trackpad, and plenty of ports in spite of its thin profile. Our favorite Chromebook is Lenovo's Flex 5 Chromebook, which Engadget's resident Chrome OS aficionado Nate Ingram described as a tremendous value. This laptop nails the basics with a 13-inch Full HD touchscreen, a fantastic keyboard, and a 10th generation Intel Core i3 processor. The 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage may sound meager, but in our testing, the Flex 5 held up in spite of this constraint. It also has one USB-A and 2 USB-C ports, 8-hour battery life, and a 360-degree hinge that makes it easy to use the Flex 5 as a tablet. That's a bonus, especially now that Chrome OS supports Android apps. Though the Flex 5 is almost 2 years old by now, it is still a great deal at under $400. In fact, you can sometimes find it on sale for as little as $300, making it a great option for someone looking for a basic browser-based machine on a tight budget. If you're looking for something under $800, your best bet is the HP Pavilion Aero 13. For $750, you'll get a Full HD screen with a 16:10 aspect ratio and surprisingly thin bezels, along with a comfortable keyboard and spacious trackpad. Importantly, the Aero 13 provides relatively powerful components compared to others in this price range, with an AMD Ryzen 5000 series processor and Radeon graphics. Plus, it has a generous array of ports and enough juice to last you the entire workday and then some. For those who need their laptops to occasionally double as tablets, the Surface Pro series is a no-brainer. Compared to notebooks with rotating hinges, tablets with kickstands are often much slimmer and lighter. The Surface Pro 8 is the most recent model, and it features Microsoft's sleek new design with a thinner profile and minimal bezels. The Pro 8 also has a 120Hz refresh rate that makes scrolling long documents or spreadsheets feel much faster, and you can drop the refresh rate down to 60Hz if you want to conserve battery life. We also like Microsoft's type covers for its Surface Pros, although it is worth noting that they'll cost you an additional $100 to $180. And those who want to doodle or sketch on the display may appreciate the Surface Slim Pen 2's new haptic feedback. Unless you're bent on sticking with Apple's ecosystem, in which case the iPad Pro would probably suit you best, the Surface Pro 8 is arguably the best convertible laptop around. For detailed reviews on everything I've mentioned, and for more coverage of laptops, tablets, and smartphones and wearables, make sure you subscribe to Engadget. And as always, thank you for watching.